Hey, everyone, and welcome back. We're going to be diving into some pretty cool research today.
Yeah.
Research that suggests there might be a link between, well, what you eat and how you feel.
Okay.
So get this. That bright red pigment found in tomatoes,
Right.
lycopene,
Lycopene.
might actually have the power to boost your brain power
Interesting.
and maybe even fight depression.
Wow.
Pretty neat, huh?
That's really fascinating.
I thought so, too.
And the research we're looking at, you know, it's not just speculation or anything.
Right.
There's a recent article from Wiley
Oh, great.
titled, New Research Reveals How Lycopene Revitalizes Brain Health and Fights Depression.
Okay.
And it details a pretty groundbreaking study on the impact of lycopene.
All right, I'm definitely intrigued now.
Yeah.
So we're not just talking about tomatoes making our salads look pretty here.
No.
What exactly did this research, uncover?
Well, the study focused on mice
Okay.
that were exhibiting depression-like symptoms. And they found some really interesting results.
Okay.
It turns out that these mice had noticeable impairments in a part of the brain called the hippocampus,
Right.
which is super important
Right.
for things like memory and mood regulation.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You're saying there were actual
Yes.
physical changes in the brains of these mice.
Exactly. That's right.
Wow.
But here's where things get even more fascinating.
Okay.
So when the researchers gave these mice lycopene, those impairments in their hippocampus,
Yeah.
they actually started to decrease. And their behavior improved significantly.
Really?
Yeah, it's like someone flipped a switch.
That's pretty remarkable.
It is.
So how is lycopene actually working its magic in the brain? Is it like some kind of brain-boosting vitamin or something?
Well, it's even cooler than that, I think. The researchers discovered that lycopene's brain-boosting power is linked to a special protein called BDNF.
BDNF.
Yeah, which stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor.
Okay.
Think of BDNF like a superhero for your brain cells.
Okay.
It helps them grow, stay healthy,
Mm-hmm.
and communicate effectively.
So it's really important then.
Yeah, absolutely essential for learning and memory.
Okay.
And guess what?
What?
Lycopene seems to boost BDNF levels in the brain.
So it's like lycopene's giving our brains a supercharge or something.
Something like that.
I could definitely see why this research has got everyone so excited.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And it gets even more interesting.
Oh, okay.
When we consider that in depression,
Yeah.
a crucial communication pathway in the brain involving BDNF,
Okay.
it's called the BDNF-TRKB pathway.
Right.
This pathway gets suppressed.
So in people with depression.
Exactly. And this pathway is essentially how our brain cells talk to each other.
Oh, interesting.
Quickly,
So
yeah,
a
right.
breakdown in communication within the brain?
Precisely.
Wow.
And what the researchers found
Yeah.
is that lycopene appears to help rebuild those communication lines.
Oh, wow.
Think of it like this. Lycopene helps to repair the communication lines within your brain,
Okay.
making sure those important messages about mood and memory are being transmitted properly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So does this mean we can potentially fight depression
Whoa.
just by adding more tomatoes to our diet?
It's not quite that simple.
Okay.
This research is still in its early stages. And remember, this study was conducted on mice.
Oh, right. Of course.
Duh, humans.
Yeah, of course.
So-
So more research is definitely needed.
Absolutely.
But are scientists saying there's a real possibility
For sure.
that lycopene could play a big role in the future
Yeah.
in treating depression?
Absolutely.
Wow.
The researchers are incredibly enthusiastic about the potential, and
Yeah.
they're already planning further studies
Fair.
to confirm and expand upon these findings.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so before we move on, I just want to recap what we've learned so far.
Okay.
We're talking about lycopene, this natural compound found in everyday foods like tomatoes,
Right.
and is showing potential to support brain health
Yep.
and even combat depression
That's right.
by increasing levels of a crucial brain protein
Uh-huh.
and restoring those vital communication pathways in the brain.
Exactly.
I like
You
that.
got it.
That's amazing.
And that's why this research is so groundbreaking,
Yeah.
It opens up a whole new avenue for exploring natural approaches to supporting mental well-being.
Oh, this is really fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I'm curious, what does all this mean for us
Yeah.
on a practical level?
Yeah.
How can we take this information and apply it to our own lives?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
It leads us to some really important considerations about our diet and lifestyle choices.
Okay.
Which we'll dive into right after this.
All right. Sounds yeah.
Hashtag TTS, the deep dive episode 2025-02-04, part 2 of 3.
All right. So before we went to break, we were talking about how lycopene could have a real impact on brain health and depression.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I'm already kind of thinking about how I can get more of this lycopene in my diet.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
Well, that's the key question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to talk about all these scientific studies and stuff, but it's even more important to understand what it all means for us.
Exactly.
Like on a practical level,
Yeah. So what's the takeaway here? Are we all just supposed to start like chugging tomato juice every morning or something?
Well, not necessarily, no.
Okay.
While tomatoes are a great source of lycopene,
right, it's
important to remember that a balanced diet is key.
Right. It's all about balance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think what makes this study so interesting is that it highlights the power of these natural compounds, you know, found in everyday foods to actually influence our health, including our mental well-being.
So you're saying that this research could, like, change how we think about food?
Oh, absolutely.
And how it connects to our mental health?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For a long time, we viewed food as, you know, just a source of energy, nutrients.
Sure.
But these findings suggest that food can play a bigger role in supporting our brain function and our emotional well-being.
That's amazing.
It is.
So beyond tomatoes, are there other ways to incorporate lycopene-rich foods into our diet?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. What else?
Well, you'll find lycopene in other red and pink fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Like watermelon.
Oh, watermelon.
Pink grapefruit.
Right.
Guava and papaya.
Watermelon, you're speaking my language.
Mine too.
All right.
And here's a fun fact.
Okay.
Cooked tomatoes actually contain higher levels of lycopene.
Oh, really?
Than raw tomatoes.
So a nice tomato sauce or a soup could be good ways to boost our lycopene intake.
Exactly.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's amazing how even simple culinary techniques can impact the nutritional value of our food, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's really cool.
So just to clarify for our listeners, we're talking about a natural compound found in delicious foods that could potentially be a way to support brain health and even fight depression.
That's right.
And this is all based on, you know, actual scientific research.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I find this incredibly exciting.
I agree. It really shows that there's so much we're still learning about the power of nature to impact our health and well-being.
This whole deep dive has definitely given me like a whole new appreciation for what I'm putting on my plate.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to think that something as simple as choosing, you know, lycopene-rich foods could have such a profound impact on our brains.
It's important to remember, though, we're not suggesting that lycopene is like a magic bullet.
No, of course not.
For depression or any other mental health condition.
Yeah, it's always crucial to consult with a healthcare professional.
Yeah.
For personalized advice and treatment.
Absolutely.
Okay, sure.
This is about empowering ourselves with knowledge and exploring all the tools available to us to support our well-being.
Yeah.
So what's the main takeaway for our listeners today? What do you think is like the most important message?
I think the biggest takeaway is just don't underestimate the power of your plate. The choices we make about what we eat can have a huge impact on our physical and mental health.
Food is medicine.
Exactly.
I love it.
And lycopene is just one great example of the potential that natural compounds hold for supporting our well-being.
I love that message.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Food can be both delicious and good for our bodies and minds.
It's true.
This has been such an interesting conversation.
It has.
And I feel like I've learned so much today.
Me too. It's always a joy to delve into this kind of stuff, these fascinating research findings, and see what it could mean for all of us, you know?
No, I can't let you go without asking.
Yeah.
What are you having for dinner tonight?
Haha. Well, after all this talk about lycopene, I think I'll have to make a delicious pasta.
Oh, nice.
With some homemade tomato sauce.
It sounds delicious.
Don't you?
I was thinking the same thing.
Really?
Maybe a nice slice of watermelon for dessert, too.
Oh, yeah.
Just to really get that lycopene boost.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, that about wraps things up for today.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of lycopene. And we'll leave you with one final thought to chew on.
Okay. Hashtag TTS The Deep Dive, episode 2025-02-04, part 3 of 3.
We've been talking all about lycopene and how this powerful little compound found in tomatoes and other red fruits and veggies, might actually hold a key to better brain health.
It really is kind of incredible to think about,
I know, right?
Like something we eat could have such a big impact on how our brains work.
Exactly.
Wow.
And while this research on lycopene is super exciting, I think it also kind of raises a bigger question.
Okay.
Like, what other surprising connections between food and our well-being are out there?
That's a great point. Yeah. I think this study really just scratches the surface of all there is to learn about the power of food to influence our mood, our brain function,
Totally.
Even our long-term health.
It's like we're only just beginning to understand.
I think so.
This whole idea of food as medicine.
Yeah, for sure.
Which brings us to our final thought for today.
Right.
I want to ask you.
Okay.
What if you started viewing your grocery list as like a toolkit for a healthier brain?
I like that. Yeah.
How might making conscious choices about the foods you eat translate into a brighter, more vibrant you?
It's a powerful idea.
Right. Yeah. And while more research is always needed,
of course,
the evidence we have suggests that incorporating these lycopene-rich foods into your diet could be a simple yet powerful way to nourish your brain and support your well-being.
Absolutely.
Of course. Just remember, it's always a good idea to talk to your healthcare provider before making any major dietary changes.
For sure. They can help you determine what's best for you as an individual.
Well, that wraps up another deep dive.
It does.
We hope you enjoyed exploring the amazing world of lycopene with us today.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Until next time, keep those minds curious.
Okay.
And those plates colorful.
Great advice.